Welcome to Critical Care Pattern Series, episode number 2. My name is Swapnil. I work as an intensivist in Sydney. And today we are going to discuss about the second pattern, that is cold, pale hand. Let's start with the scenario. So 22-year-old male admitted to intensive care after the meningococcal sepsis and who is currently on a very high dose vasopressor requirement. And your junior registrar has inserted a right radial arterial line overnight. And now bedside RN has called you to see this patient because the right hand looks cold, pale, and swollen. So what's your approach? So before we dive into the actual approach or how to treat this patient, the first and foremost thing is to think about what are the possible differentials here. The very common differential in the meningococcal sepsis is it a DIC? Because with DIC, you can get microvascular thrombotic state. The second possibility, it could be because of the very high vasopressor requirement, and that might lead to significant peripheral vasoconstriction, leading to cold, pale, and swollen limb. It could be just because of the worsening sepsis. Given the context that this patient had radial arterial line inserted overnight, it could be the traumatic arterial line insertion that has led to either the dissection or the flap, and that has led to ischemia. Next possibility is it could be an embolic or thrombotic phenomena due to either trauma, or it could be there is a DIC and there is a clots forming everywhere else, and that has led to embolic phenomenon. And the last one possibility, which is rare, but it still could be a possibility in this case, is due to inadvertent drug administration through arterial line. So these are the kind of common differentials for this scenario. So how will you navigate, how will you approach this patient? So again, make sure that this is an emergency situation. Do not waste more time. Immediately attend the patient and go through your simultaneous assessment and treatment approach. Usually the approach is traditionally history, examination, investigation, but again, that has to happen simultaneously rather than considering it in isolation. So the key points in history to remember are considering especially the context of arterial line insertion. Was it a particularly difficult arterial line insertion? How many attempts were made? And also just with regards to drug administration, it's very important to check whether there are any infusions accidentally attached to arterial line and whether there was any drug administered through arterial line as a bolus. In terms of examination, it's very important to look at radial arterial line trace if it's still in situ, or feel the pulse, examine the hand, and also it's important to examine all 4 limbs, because apart from the traumatic insertions or the multiple attempts of radial arterial line insertion, all other causes give rise to all 4 limb ischemic changes rather than just a one isolated limb ischemic changes. So again, it's very important to examine all 4 extremities, and also it's very important to look at, say, whether the radial arterial line is flushing, is it aspirating, and that also will give you some idea whether there is any blockage of radial arterial line. Investigations, so gold standard investigation will be Doppler investigation, and to examine the artery and to look for any dissection flap. Arteriography is invasive and rarely performed, but if it's needed, it needs to be done. Now, usually the treatment, and again, the immediate consultation with the vascular surgery need to happen in this case. And probably the first thing will be to remove the radial arterial line. If the patient is quite sick, that means patient is already on high dose vasopressor requirement, then another arterial line needs to be inserted. And also it's important in this scenario to document the incidents in patient notes, but also if it's the problem due to arterial line insertion or accidental administration of medicine, make sure that you notify these incidents via systems such as IMS, which is the incident notification system. Also, open disclosure of these incidents to family or to patient if patient is awake is equally important. So I guess there are the two kind of non-clinical aspects of these incidents. So that's all about today's critical care pattern of cold ischemic limb. We'll be back in week's time. Till then, goodbye and have a nice time. Thank you.